Hi, I'm Christina, and welcome to this episode of Women's Health, Wealth, and Happiness, Interviews to Inspire. I'm excited to introduce our next guest, who helps women reconnect with their inner wisdom and live in full alignment. Through experiences like singing with the band, learning to surf, and moving to Mexico, she has found alignment in her life. For her, health is about well-being. It encompasses our physical, mental, emotional, and divine aspects. Balance throughout these four is key, as is loving yourself first in order to be fulfilled, so you can pour into life generously. Wealth is more than money or resources. It's abundant mindset that invites in joy, opportunities, friendships, synchronicities, experiences, growth, connections, creativity, and ideas. And happiness comes from flow, trusting the universe to guide her into laughter and laser focus on work with joy, inspiration, and creativity. Please join me in welcoming our next guest, Mind and Body Alchemist for women over 50, Diane.
I am really happy to be in this chapter of my life. And at 67, I feel better than I ever have. And my joy in helping other women feel great where they are, I love doing it. It lights me up. So right now, as you said, Christina, that introduction, I mean, you made me want to meet that woman. But yeah, we're living in Mexico, and that was sort of an offshoot of a dream. I didn't start any of this chapter of my life until, meaning health and wellness, until I turned 60. And so part of what I feel my role is to help women know it's never, ever, 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 ever too late to start. Ever.
Diane, your health word is well-being. What does well-being mean to you?
It was so fun that you asked me to think about that in a one-word definition. And I don't have a one-word definition. I mean, really, health is well-being, but I want to really stress that well-being is not a counterpoint to illness. That's not what it's about. Well-being is feeling good in your life. It's about feeling aligned. It's about feeling like you're living out your purpose in a body that is serving you and that you are honoring, and that you have the resources you need. And it's about mindset. That to me is when I am feeling healthy, it is when I am in my well-being. And one of the things that I had to learn around that is I have to take care of myself first. And women actually get this crazy, misguided, backhanded compliment. Oh, she is so selfless. So what is the flip side of that? Throwing self under the bus and learning to undo that without guilt. That's part of what I love sharing, and had to learn for myself that yes, I can give generously, but I have to fill the vessel first. I have to make sure that I'm not stressed, that I'm not that I am getting enough sleep, that I am loving my body with nutritious food and getting exercise and building muscles and flexibility and all of those things, so that when someone says to me, hey, can you do this? I can be like, sure, I can do that. Also, well-being includes the one-word sentence, no, although my expanded version is, oh, I'd love to, I just can't, which all supports my well-being, because then I am not saying yes to things out of guilt or over sense of obligation. I'm making room for me to take care of me. And in that wellness in that foundation of health, then I can pour all over everywhere because my cup is filled.
It's such a superpower that you're talking about. You know, I liken it to a car. If you take care of the car, it will take care of you. But the car has so many pieces. You have to keep it clean. You have to take care of the oil, the gas, the engine, all of those pieces. So you have to be so aware, and it's not always easy. What are your tricks for staying a well-oiled machine in your physical health, in your mental health, and your total well-being?
I just have to laugh at your example because my first car, I filled it with gas all the time, but oil, I didn't know you needed to do that. And guess what happened to the engine? Yeah, seized right up. So some of my routines go like this. I have an exercise program that I am doing at all times. It's not always the same one, but I've always got a program. I mean, that's part of my business to have exercise programs and match women with the right one. So I have to do that for myself as well. It has become a non-negotiable. And it's funny because if for some reason life gets in the way and I can't do a workout, my body's like, hey, yo, Missy, we need a little something over here. And it's funny now that my body is demanding it. It doesn't take hours of my day. Sometimes it's 20 minutes. But the other thing that I have learned to do is stretch at night. That's another one of my new routines. And I used to be a like go all day and slam into the wall and crash into bed. But now I am putting routine on my evening as well to honor my body. And it's 5 minutes, but I just stretch and my body's liking it a lot. This is a growing edge for me. This is a habit I am cultivating, but noticing how good it feels, how good I wake up feeling, how much less achy I am. Yeah. So those are just a couple of the routines. I meditate every day, not for hours, 17 minutes is my sweet spot. 17, not 16, not 18, but 17 minutes. And I have really become selective of what I choose to put in my body. And make no mistake about it, I can eat most people under the table. I love to eat. I love delicious flavors. But I have learned actually in the last 3 months that if I don't eat some things regularly that had been staples, and this was hard. I'm in Mexico and I have said no to gluten, to corn, and to dairy that are inflammatory foods. And you know, that means like no cheese tacos. That that's like, eh. But guess what? People here are also doing the same thing. And so I can find tacos now on a slice. You're familiar with jicama, right?
Yes.
So like people actually, instead of a corn or flour tortilla, they will serve tacos on thin slices of jicama that just, they're so crunchy and great. And restaurants and whatnot offer this on a lettuce leaf, a big lettuce leaf. And so I haven't had as hard a time with tacos as I feared. It's all about the taco. Tacos are life. And thinking about having to give those up was, but turns out I don't. I'm just making them a new way. So anyway, that feels like a long explanation, but those are just some of the habits that I'm learning to cultivate, as well as, and this is the biggie, seeking joy. Is this thing making me happy? No. Then I'm pretty much not doing it, or I'm wrapping it up or finding my way out of it. And wow, that's a lot to unpack there, because the amount of guilt that could accompany that is pretty massive. What do you mean you're just looking for joy? You need to do this thing because it's a responsibility. Well, is it, or is it someone else's overlay? So examining all these things has been a little scary, but really, really effective and rewarding.
It sounds like what I would call conscious living, where everything that you're doing, you are absolutely conscious of what's going in your body, how my body is feeling, how I need to take care of it at this moment. Again, you're, superpower girl, right? I mean, just
Well,
it.
learning curve, well, you know,
And when would you say that this started to blossom in you and then change into, yes, this is my lifestyle?
oh, Christina, I am a work in progress for sure. I mean, it really started when I turned 60 and couldn't zip up a dress that I'd been able to wear the year before, and just started looking at some things in my life, as a having been born sort of at the tail end of the baby boomers. I can't remember the exact statistic, but it was like a crazy number, like 23 million people turned 60 the same year I did. It was big millions. Anyway, I'll just put it at that. And what I heard around me, the commentary was, and for one thing, you're getting the birthday cards that are all black and, like doom and gloom. And, here's a cane now that you're 50, 60. And what I was hearing around me were people saying, well, I guess my best days are behind me. And, and making jokes about it. And, well, I can't get down on the floor because I'll never get back up again. And I was just thinking, no, 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 no. I'm having none of this. And changing my mind to be counterpoint to societal images of what it means to age. So really it started then, and then as I have learned more and taken on new tools and been inspired to help other women, because I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, but I do not have the only toolbox. So, I'm learning from other women and men, but mostly I work with women. And so I keep trying new techniques and this whole idea of stretching at night. It seems so obvious, but it wasn't. It wasn't a habit I had. And so it's just been a million micro steps. And this is one thing that I have learned is that if you want to make big sweeping changes, good luck. But if you want to make changes and slow walk yourself there, then yeah, you can do it. You can totally do it.
How many more people that are aging need to hear that message that it's not time to curl up and die. It's time to get out and live.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
I love this messaging. And I guess my question is to you, what advice, if you had to give one piece of advice to, say, the women that you're working with on finding their health and well-being, what would that be? I know it's hard, but one piece.
The first thing that comes to mind is there are two things that people push back on. One is physical exercise and one is changing how you eat. So if I were to pick one, I would say physical exercise. And the advice is ask yourself, what can I do? Because it's easy to look at someone, even like me. Now, I've been at it for almost 7 years. So I move with a different fluidity than me 7 years ago. So my question would be, what can you do? What is possible for you right now? Lean into that. Lean in and give yourself the grace to be awkward, to have learner mind, to be uncomfortable. It's okay. It's awkward if you haven't really moved your body in a while, or if you have in the past and it hasn't been a positive experience. If you have the mindset, oh, I did so many programs and I never finished any of them, let that go. Start now. Start with what can I do right now? And that might be sit in a chair and march in place for 10 steps. And if that's it, rock on, do that. And then tomorrow, do 11 steps. And I'm not saying tomorrow do 100. I'm saying inch it up 1% a day. Just like tiny little ratchets. And before you know it, you've got mountain of success.
Across oceans and voices we rise as one. Our story